sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove, and glories of righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders and wonders of his love, and wonders and wonders of his love.
Great to be with you guys today. Welcome to my Facebook Live show. It's our holiday show. As you can tell, we're all just major celebrating here. We're so glad you could be here with us. So, all of our lyrics are here in Facebook. You can sing along with us. We've picked songs we know you love as much as we do. And you can call in and talk to me today on my little red phone. That's 1-888-DEB-SHOW. If you're international, it's deborahking.com/Deb-Show. And, you know, I'd love to help you with your question, your personal question, whatever it might be. Good time of year to be doing that, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd like to have us all close our eyes for a moment and just kind of drop in. And one of our band members couldn't join us today. Everybody knows Lois Mahalia. We know and love Lois as you do. And her father passed away recently, so she's not able to be here. And we want to send our thoughts and all our feelings to Lois and her family. And she had a super musical dad, really her inspiration. The whole family actually is incredibly musical. Her brothers all sing, her mother does. And he'll be sorely missed. A really amazing spiritual man, Alan. So we send our thoughts and all our energy and care to Lois and her family. All right, I want to introduce the band. So we got Jack Lee, our music director, over here on keyboard and all the other instruments he plays. And we have Allie Clark today, new with us on vocals. She's got a lovely voice. Welcome, Allie. And we got JB over here on JB White on vocals and bass, and our guy Myron Aguilar on vocals, and James Antunes, love James, does it all down back there with his voice and the drums. And let's sing another song, you guys.
Okay. Oh, come Emmanuel.
shadows put to flight. Rejoice.
So I guess you guys noticed we're so fortunate today, and hopefully every show we have brass. So Dave and John back here, amazing sound, isn't it? It's just so incredible the first time you get to sing with that. We are having a really good time. All right, I'd like to talk today about where we're at in the calendar. So this is the winter equinox, and I'll head over there right now and we'll talk all about that. Okay, so today I'm going to talk, as I said, about the winter equinox and how to ramp up your own spiritual evolution at this time of year. So if you've heard me talk about this and teach on this, for years I've been sharing the fact that it's from the 12th of December to the 12th of January is this amazing window of opportunity for you to increase your spiritual body. That's that energy body that you're sitting inside of. And this is the time of year when the curtain gets pulled back, really, between this plane and the higher planes. What an opportunity, right? For us humans here on Earth. And if you're seeking enlightenment, and I know you are, because that's why you are living in this body right now, you want to have a higher spiritual self. You want to expand your consciousness so you're more conscious of what's going on around you. And, we get out of the me phase, that's level 1, and we start to see, my God, there's people that need our help. There's our planet that needs our help, right? This is the time of year to really focus in on that. It's just you're preset to positively respond to spiritual expansion at this time of year. It's in your DNA. It's in every cell of your body. So all the ancient cultures knew this. I've studied most cultures, and they all talk about it a lot. They mention these 31 days, no matter what a culture, from east to west that you might look at. And that's why all our holidays, pretty much, whether you're, Christian or Jewish or whatever your belief system you may espouse or used to, that's why most of the holidays are right now. And as I talked about in a recent show, the Christians grafted their beliefs and stole what they call pagan holidays and just put them right on top of it so that people would still come to their new churches instead of the old temples. They even put them on the same grounds, right? So what do we have to do to ramp ourselves up spiritually? Well, step 1 is we have to make sure our bodies, these things, our earth suits, can handle the vibration. Who knew, right? If you read someone like St. Teresa of Avila or somebody from way back, all they talk about is penance and sacrifice and prayer, and that's actually not the way to go. Maybe it was then. In fact, we have to take care of these fragile bodies, broken as yours might be. To experience higher vibration, you have to have a body within which to experience it. And then you can use that higher vibration that you've attracted from your higher self that's up above your whole chakra system, and you've brought it in, and now you can share that with the world. All your gifts will just come in, and you'll be able to share it. So, look at the Kabbalah for an example. That's the mystical side of Judaism. They teach that to maintain a good connection between your body and your soul, you have to eat right, a balanced diet. You have to have some movement every day, not just, be a couch potato. We have to get enough sleep. We have to be constantly being of service in some way. We have to be, helping other people or other living beings on the planet. We have to express ourselves artistically. That's actually in the Kabbalah. We have to acknowledge and honor our surroundings and spend time with loved ones. They mention that. And they mention remembering your purpose as well as never, ever giving up. Straight from the Kabbalah. It's really interesting, isn't it? So not surprisingly, every one of the activities I just mentioned increases your vibration. So you are a vibratory being. Your body is vibrating, as is everything else Absolutely everything on the planet and beyond the planet. Everything is vibration. And when I work spiritually with people, I use sound to enhance their spiritual development. I hear a sound, their sound, and I use it. But more on that some other time. So all of the activities I just mentioned, they help us connect to our sacred self, the part of us that most connects to, use whatever word you want here, God, nature, source, whatever, whatever works for your belief system. So now that we've acknowledged the importance of bringing our bodies along on this journey and keeping them functional, what are the basics of spiritual evolution? Well, first and foremost, you have to remember that despite what I just said about your body, your eternal essence is spiritual. It is not physical. And you know that instinctively, I know, if you take the time to ponder it. But it's so easy to forget, isn't it, when life handles us lemons? It's pretty easy to forget. And we have a challenging relationship. We have trouble at work. We've got trouble physically. So many life problems, right? Financial trouble, it's endless. And that really threatens our fragile and what tends to be kind of a fear-fraught emotional nature. The second thing we have to do is we have to choose the challenges in this life that will support us in our progress. So all the scoundrels in your life are your best teachers. I know, think about that for a moment. They're as much your mentors and guides and benefactors as the ones that you think of as mentors, guides, and benefactors. The people that are just driving you right off the chart have so much to teach you, those situations. So when you view those challenges in this way, it's easier to discern what they're in your life for. What are they there for to reveal to you? For example, are the relationships in your life good role models or not so good? Ask yourself that right now. What are they teaching you about yourself? Why have you selected those relationships? Maybe you need to work on forgiveness or patience. That's a big one for me. I'm not very patient. Or maybe you need to speak up for yourself or learn to speak up for others or something else. So take a second right now and just kind of ponder that. If the same type of bad actors keep showing up for you, like here you are marrying and just getting out of a second marriage that was all wrong, and really, is that next partner the right one, or is it, got all the same attributes as the last two? We tend to keep repeating our mistakes, don't we? So what recurring obstacles in whatever part of your life are you facing? Ask yourself that question. That's a really good question. If you keep having the same issues over and over again, from bad debt to bad jobs to bad people. So we have the chance to learn from all of this. That's why we chose it. We actually choose all of these circumstances. Now, remember, we have free will. Totally have free will. And you can manage these situations in whatever way you decide to choose. Okay, thirdly, you're here to embrace and practice loving kindness. I did a whole segment on that just a few Facebook Lives back, how important loving kindness is. Remember, we did the metta meditation together. And loving kindness includes generosity and forgiveness and being of service and self-care. You have to take care of you too. And enlightened spiritual practices. For you, that might mean meditation. Somebody else, it might be prayer. For someone else, journaling. Somebody else, music. Indeed, music is very, very spiritually enhancing, really is. Or maybe taking a walk in nature. Anything that lifts your vibration. You know when your vibration's lifted because you feel happier, you feel calmer, you feel more cheerful, you feel more benevolent. We know when our vibration's gone up, right? Now, people who reach the very highest level, this is fairly esoteric, we would call them ascended masters. They can decide whether they want to stay here on this planet and teach or, not go beyond. That's something to contemplate as way far out kind of a concept. But the key thing to remember is it's from December 12th to January 12th. So today's the 20th. Today is such a key time. We're just going into the solstice period right now. And this is the time to revitalize your spiritual self. And you probably have time. If you work like I do, you're probably getting some days off right over the holiday. Don't be overwhelmed with too much activity or too much of anything. Give yourself a chance to actually explore your spiritual self. Now, I'm going to lead you on a winter solstice guided journey in just a minute. But before we do that, let's sing another song. All right. Wow, what a spiritual experience that is, JB. Amazing. That's just lovely. All right, let's go do this guided meditation, okay? So today I want to have Spirit guide us on a visit to a Hopi village, take you back in time, where the tribe is celebrating the winter solstice in their own unique way. So if you don't know the Hopis and not familiar with them, it means people of peace. They were indigenous to parts of Utah and Colorado and New Mexico and Arizona. And last winter break, right about this time of year actually, Eric and I, we spent the winter holidays camped in their area. Crazy, it was below freezing, but it was a very uplifting experience because, you know, it's the desert. It was just amazing. You could feel them and their whole culture, which goes back more than 1,000 years. And in recent years, unfortunately, the Navajo tribe has been granted most of their land, so the Hopis are now squeezed into this little tiny part of Arizona. I mean, the things we have done to the Indians, God pray for us, okay, because it's been bad. But they still celebrate the winter solstice pretty much the way I'm going to lead you on today. Now picture them. They're dressed in their own native garments. It's organic clothing. It's produced right from the land and the animal nations that they revered and treated as their brothers and sisters. And that's what sustained them. The day before the winter solstice, that is today, on the 20th, their celebration began, and one of the chief spirit guides or priests, or what they would call a kashina, would come to their pueblo, and he would be dressed like an old man. It would be at nighttime, and he acted as if he'd just wakened up from a deep sleep. So he's acting out their story. And the people would all stand there and they'd watch him move around, and he would be out of balance and would almost fall, and he would dance in an exaggerated way, and he would sing something sacred, but it would be so low that they couldn't hear his words. So the Hopis knew that on the actual day, that tomorrow, the solstice, that everything that they prayed for and believed in today would occur in the following year. Now let's pause for a minute and just think about that, because that means that they had such a sense of something I'm always trying to teach, which is intentionality. If we intend something enough, it will happen. You have to intend it. It has to be real to you now. And they were really good at this. They were amazing. So to prepare to celebrate the day, when the kachina would come down from the mountaintop and interact with the tribe at the pueblo, they would have prayer sticks, and they'd have them all tied with feathers and pinion needles, and to bless the community and to bless their homes, their animals, and all the plants, which they considered their brothers and sisters. So they were in such unity, with every living thing. And they would give their children intricately carved and replicas, little replicas of the kachina to help them learn the ritual. And then to their own clothing, they would add bells and leather and fur, and, would have been a great experience, right? So let's join them right now. Let me take you there. So close your eyes. And our intentionality is to be connected to their spirit guide and the guides of their people. So we call in that guidance. And such a special time of year. It's the time when the sun to the Hopis stood still, and the veil between the worlds, it's the thinnest. The higher dimensions are very achievable right now. Such a sacred time. We can more easily tap into these energies. They're galactic energies. They're angelic energies. There's so many realms beyond what we can sense here. So just take in a deep breath and release any hurry or annoyance or anything that was bothering you. Just let it go. Take in another deep breath. And just be in the moment. And let's all hear the sound of Om. Let your breath become slow and just hear an Om inside your body. You are home in the Om. And just join together with me and your whole extended spiritual family. We're all here together. We're coming out of the darkness. This is the last dark day. We're sitting here by the fire. We have a collective heart, and we're going to share in the warmth of our spirit, our family. You are part of my extended family. You're my soul family. So like the Hopis, like the ancients of Europe, Northern Europe, I often speak of, they hold vigil tonight through the long night at Stonehenge and Newgrange, and there's so many places in the world where this is celebrated as we leave the time of darkness. As our soul does, as our soul seeks light, we too seek the light. So just feel the darkness for a minute, because you're very sheltered right now in this Hopi blanket of energy that I've protected you inside of. No negative energy can touch you right now. Just let me spread that blanket of energy over you. And I'm going to stop and acknowledge St. Michael, the Archangel of Autumn, as he turns over the power and reins to Gabriel, the Archangel of Winter. And I invoke Gabriel's presence here for all of us. He's the Archangel of communication and revelation. You remember him. He brought the good news to the Hopi female deity. She's a more recent representative of the divine feminine. And we ask that he strengthen us and help us stand in our truth and help us follow our inner guidance so we may be of service to humanity at the highest level we can achieve. So step out with me on this little stroll. Picture yourself walking along a kind of a dark path here. It's nighttime. We're deep in the higher plateaus of New Mexico. We're walking slow. There's no moon right now. Not yet. It's not up yet. And there's some obstacles on our path. And our hearts may be heavy. It's been a rough year for so many of us. We have old sorrows that we want to not have us be burdened by them next year, right? So we silently review our past year. For a moment, feel the pain of being hurt. Perhaps you were hurt this past year, or maybe you hurt someone and you feel bad about that. Just let it go. And maybe you lost a loved one, and we feel your pain. Maybe you had a dream destroyed. Maybe you're worried about the uncertainties of the future, worried about new challenges coming in the next year. So we can be kind of weighted down by all those thoughts and feelings, as well as by the suffering of humanity. It's hard not to witness it. It's everywhere. There's so many people that don't have enough to eat. They don't have clean water. So many millions of refugees. So many people are sick and dying today. So many people living in fear, and so many feel they have no future and have a closed heart. So we feel all of that world pain. And there's so many people that feel alone, especially at this time of year, right? They see all those happy family images and they feel very alone. So where is joy and peace? So keep walking with me along this path. Still high. We're right at the tree line now, and we can see some giant cedars and their fir trees out here on this high plateau, and smell that clean, crisp air and the evergreens that are around us. And notice the path is getting smoother and easier to follow. And then through a gap in the trees, look, see the light in the distance? It's peeking out as we walk closer and closer to it. We hear the distant sounds of drums, bells, indistinct voices. It's the Hopi dancers and the elders. So come with me, we'll draw closer and closer with each step we take. Take in the sounds and the sights and the joy of the Hopis. Let it become part of you. They're celebrating the Winter Solstice. They're honoring all the guides, all the Kashinas, their ancestral spirits. And they honor all that we honor, the natural world, the plants, the birds, all the animals, our ancestors as theirs, as well as the planets and the stars. So the Hopis invite us to join in with them, and our spirit enters their celebration. Just go with me and just enter right in. It's so wholehearted. They want us to learn that intentionality they have of believing in the thing, and it becomes real, as does welcoming the sun as it comes back at the end of the day tomorrow. So this is the prelude to the shortest day of the year. Standing before us, a Hopi leader. He has a headdress on, or she does, decorated with rain cloud images, and they're overseeing a specific ceremony at the kiva. The kiva's underground, and notice that the leader is carrying a shield with a star and an antelope. Those are Hopi images. And another tribal member is carrying an effigy of a plumed snake. That's a really important Hopi tradition. So they enter the kiva underground. We can go with them. We're engaging through our other senses and our spiritual eyes. And they have a mock fight. They take turns stomping on an old hole. And we watch as the shield bearers, they separate into two groups, one north, one south, and they sing to bring the sun, to bring the sun. So we do the same. We join them. We create our own future now using our intentionality. The sun will shine over us in just the way we want, help us create just the world we want, the life we want. So notice that just west of the kiva, there are people building an altar with corn. And pick up an ear of corn and lay it on the altar with all the other Hopi elders and participants, and the little children too. We're all putting our gift of corn on the altar. There's a large gourd with an effigy of the plumed snake's head. That snake is not going to roar enough to deter the sun. The sun will come back. And the sun god's footprints will appear in the sand. I promise you. So let's just nod our approval as the Hopi elders teach the children this beautiful tradition. To this day, they are still passing these stories down and teaching these important lessons about respecting our earth and respecting one another. And we feel such gratitude for being part of this. And join with me in the singing and the dancing of this celebration. Be Hopi for a moment. And now they go back to their daily life, and we thank them for the pleasure of being with them for a few moments, and we thank our spirit guides for taking us here. And we have spent some time with the people of peace. All right, come back, open your eyes. Let's go sing another Christmas carol. It's fun, huh? Remember, all the lyrics are right there for you. Hope you guys are singing along. We're sure having a good time with you here. And it's time for me to take a few calls on my red phone. So I'll head over there right now. Hope to hear it ring. Sounds like I have a caller. Hi, this is Deborah. How may I help you?
Hi, Deborah. This is Natasha.
Hi, Natasha. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
How can I help you?
Thank you so much, first of all, for such a beautiful setting and the music and the carols and everything. Your show is wonderful and beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, very sweet of you to say so.
Absolutely. I'm sure. I know. I can see all the comments. I know a lot of people are enjoying it. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Yeah, we enjoy it just as much. You can tell how much fun we're having, I'm sure.
Yes, you can tell. It adds to the spirit of Christmas for sure.
Good. Well, tell me, Natasha, how are you doing?
I am doing well, thank you. It's been a little bit of a rocky end of the year. I had an unexpected death in the family and unexpected illness in the family. And most recently, I had loss of a job. So I find myself at the end of this year at a crossroads in so many different areas of my life, which I understand it's normal. It's part of life. That's how this happens. You know, completion, the cycle ends, and then the new things appear. So I'm okay with that. I understand that all is well. And yet it can be so disorienting to be in the middle of it when all of this is happening.
Yeah, let me give you some positive feedback. You don't sound disoriented. And, well, you don't. You sound actually, you feel grounded, which is really hard to do. Who passed?
My mom passed.
How long ago was that, Natasha?
This was, 40 days was Sunday. So about 40, about 2 months, a month and a half.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult. I remember myself when my mother passed because it's an untethering experience. It severs one of our biggest connections to the earth. So interestingly, you are quite grounded. So you've already repaired that. Good for you. You're not
wonderful.
Yeah, you're not floating away. You're on the planet. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, the and the illness. Who was the illness?
My dad. He has stage 4 cancer.
Oh my! Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that. Is he in Tulsa or is he elsewhere?
No, he's not. He's abroad. And because of the pandemic, I've been unable to see them. So that makes it much more difficult to deal with this, being away.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about the job.
And the job, I was laid off unexpectedly. It's been a week and a half now.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
that seems the only light part of this is that everything's going wrong at once. So You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Instead of having it span out over a year or two, you're getting it all over with in a few weeks, Natasha.
Right. Yes. I'm hoping it's all going to stay in this year. That's why I'm so happy. It's just like be done with this and start the new year and with a
clean slate.
On a good foot.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it feels very much like that's going to be the case for you. Not thinking you're going to have a hard time finding a job. The employment market is hugely in favor of the person to be employed. Absolutely, employers are screaming for people right now. Across the board, everywhere, every sector. So you will not have trouble. You will not have trouble finding work. And I'm thinking you're going to be finding work at a higher compensation rate.
Well, that's great to hear.
That's what I'm hearing. So that's the good news. Yeah, I don't think you're going to regret at all being laid off, right?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you were laid off. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, their loss, somebody else's gain. Yeah, you feel like you're quite good at what you do.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad to have heard from you. And look at all the
thank you.
Yeah, and Natasha, look at all the reassuring news. You know, you're grounded. Your next job's just around the corner after the first of the year. What it feels like.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you and so good to hear you, Deborah. And thank you so much again for the gift of the beautiful atmosphere that you've created on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. Glad you called, Natasha.
Yes.
You take care.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Okay. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Deborah. How may I help you?
Hi, Deborah. My name is Carmelo.
With a C as in Charles?
Yes.
Hi. Nice to hear from you. And where are you?
I'm in New York, about an hour north of the city.
Okay. How can I help you, Carmela?
When I raise my vibration through diet, yoga, and meditation, I attract people of similar vibration, but I also attract heavy energies and entities. I was wondering if there was something in my field attracting them.
Well, light attracts the dark. That's a fact. It's not unusual. I'm just dropping in, making sure I'm looking at you correctly. What format does your meditation take, Carmela?
It varies. Sometimes I'll do a guided meditation similar to some of the ones that you have posted, or I'll just sometimes I'll call in different archangels or say elemental spirits, like the spirit of water to help cleanse my field, and the spirit of earth to absorb any negative energy I'm trying to release. Or I could call in say Archangel Michael for protection, or Gabriel for healing, or sometimes I just try to just clear my mind and be very present and see what comes to me.
I would love for you to have a mantra. I think it'd make it a lot easier for you and would take you deeper. Maybe one of the good fairies over there on my Facebook show could drop a link. I teach meditation. It's real easy to do, Carmela. It only takes an hour to learn. And I recommend that. A mantra will take you to a deeper field, which you're ready for. You feel actually pretty high vibration.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I suggest that? That would be my principal suggestion, is that your meditation base, which is where your thymus is pretty much, could use some fortification. It's not as strong as I'd like to see in a person of your higher vibration. Does that make sense?
Yes. So that as I remove blockages and raise my vibration and become more open, I've gained a lot of positive access, but I've also at the same time had to strengthen my kind of clear and protect practice. That's what's been slowing me down the most, is that as I advance, I'm more susceptible to other energies that I need to spend time, working through.
Yeah, no, I understood that, and that's why I want to encourage you to get a little better of a meditation practice going. Guided's nice, but I'd like to see you with a mantra which will make you more secure and will protect you from these other not so desirable energies.
I feel like I have some type of ancestral guide in my field that provided a lot of protection, but for some reason in this space it doesn't seem to be as helpful.
You have a couple of guides, and they are ancestral. It feels like it's fairly old, as in maybe 1,000 years or more old. Do you know your lineage? Do you know your heritage?
Yes, Chinese and Italian.
I'm just looking to see if I can see who it is. I'm not being given that information right now, but it doesn't feel Italian. Feels more Asian. That's a really important link for you. I think the more that you think about that, or maybe journal a little bit about it, or perhaps find an image that makes you feel like it's related to your heritage, it will open more fields for you, fields of energy that are very protective, very protective. They're watching out for you.
I agree, because when I've regressed, I feel as though I'm in Asia.
Well, how nice. Yeah, you don't feel dark. You don't feel invaded or anything. I think this is more like an annoyance or something that worries you. But it doesn't feel like it's dangerous to me. I would like to see you meditating more and more connected to this guidance.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you called, Carmela. Yeah, you have really nice energy.
Thank you.
Okay, you take care.
Okay, bye.
We thought it was going to be cold today. I got to tell you, it's very mellow out here. I've got a heat lamp next to me that I don't really need. It's probably in the high 60s, low 70s, very Southern California Christmas. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
Deborah? This is Kathy. Thanks. I'm a student of yours. I am calling about, I'm in a kind of a dark night right now regarding my one son who's just got out of the crisis unit for 10 days. And he's not well, and I'm dealing with my own health issues. I'm in Pennsylvania. He's in Nashville right now.
Was this Kathy, is this a mental health issue for your son?
Yes.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
He was doing very well, running a business, and he went through all his money, doesn't know what happened to it. And so I've helped him what I can. I don't know what else to do. I'm afraid he's going to end up on the street in Nashville. I wanted him to come here. Well, let's talk about you.
I can't look at him. I don't have his permission, but looking at you, you don't feel like you feel too good, Kathy. Let's talk about you for a minute. So you can't help him if you don't have, some stability of your own. You feel really exhausted. Is there some way you can get a little more rest? You just have to tell yourself that rest is key. You can't help him.
I've tried I've tried everything. Plus, I have a bleed now behind my eye, and that I just found out. and there's no family to help me. Everybody,
I'd really like for you to take a little walk every day, try to get a little more rest, and then you can help your son more if you're more balanced. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I would focus on yourself a little bit. How old is he?
He's 38.
Mm-hmm.
But he's since he's 14, it's been a rough road.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He was tortured in a behavioral program in Jamaica.
Do you work, Kathy?
When he was there.
What?
Not right now. Well,
you're kind of out of work at the moment.
I'm on disability, but what I'm doing is I do a lot of, trying to help people over the phone, reaching out. I have a friend dying of cancer right now, and my brother's also end-stage renal. So I try to help whoever I can, trying to do that.
Yeah, I want to encourage you to focus mostly on you. Really. I'd like to see you getting outdoors a little bit, having the chance to get some decent rest.
Well, my legs are so weak, it's hard for me to walk.
Well, then walk indoors. You need some self-care, Kathy. Right now, It has to be about you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
do you see any darkness around me?
Oh, I'm picking up a lot of depression and fatigue. So that's why I keep bringing the subject back to you. And then you'll be able to help your son make better decisions about his care. All right?
Well, all right. Well, thank you, Deborah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you called. You take care.
Much gratitude to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous names. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the glad sun's tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song?
Fun, you guys. Hey, so you'll want to be sure to come back for our next show after the holidays. TBA, the exact day and time will be a little bit weather dependent, probably. I want to be sure that we just want to be sure you know who our trumpet player is Jonathan Dane, and our sax, flute, and clarinet player is David Toljian down here behind me. And we're so thrilled to have them added along with Allie to our team here. And I hope you have an amazing holiday. I hope we've inspired you and that you remain part of my soul family and our spirit. All right. You take care.
2, 3, 4.